All right, we're watching BitePopsicle, who is playing Rammatra on King's Row. This is Masters 5 on console. It felt okay at the start when playing on defense, but when we were on attack, it felt like there was so much pressure on me to apply my own. I did notice their DPS in the high ground was being an issue, but I wasn't sure if I should have went up there or just try and make space for my DPS to try and flank up to them. Can you help tell me what to do better, such as when I should push in aggressively or how I should play against enemy hit scan? I also struggle knowing what I should be doing when the fight is neutral when in its normal damage exchanges. Okay, so this is actually an interesting replay. There's a bunch going on over here. I think your core RAM mechanics are good. I think your aim in particular is actually quite good, especially with your punches. And I think your issue is sort of like some degrees of like micro level decision making, like what exactly should I be doing right now, which we're going to cover. I know you mostly focus on offense, but I think there's actually a lot on defense here because I think you actually could have full held them here if you played it a little bit differently. So let's kind of step through and we'll go through some live examples. All right, so we're just spamming. You could have done better just spamming, but that's not a big deal. So for stuff like this, there's like almost no chance that you're gonna predict her. Like if you were like unbelievably good, you could be like, oh, I'm gonna predict where she's gonna land and trail her down and hit all the shots. I don't know if there's 100 Rammatra players in the United States who could do this, or like even the world. It just the level of game sense experience to do that is just so insane. So I don't think it's worth it to spam her at all when she's in the air. If you can be like, oh, I know where she's landing, spam that. I think that's totally fine. But like wasting your ammo right now, shooting her is not good. Another big thing to recognize here is uptime is very important, right? Every second you're applying damage is damage that they need to heal, or it means they start a fight without health missing. So right now, notice that Widow goes up, right? So we reloaded, which is fine. Widow goes up. So how long is it until you start applying damage again? So from here, 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, and you're basically 4 full seconds go by where you did no damage. For perspective, for 4 seconds, you could have killed the Rammatra from full health. Again, that's assuming he doesn't get healed, doesn't assume he doesn't go damage this form, but it like gives you an idea on just how much damage you're missing by the fact that you wasted time shooting the Widow, and you reloaded after with 60 ammo left. It might seem like a little deal, but like at higher and higher ranks, like every little bit of optimization is important. Like you're already pretty high, right? You're at Masters 5. So you're already in top, 5% of players out there. So you really need to be optimizing and getting every little bit of damage out, which will, again, slow them down, prevent them from pushing, and or lead to a pick. It's okay. It's okay, Vortex. I think I understand why you went for it. I don't think it's a high percentage one, but that's fine. This shield I disagree with. There's literally nobody in front of you, so there's no need to put shield down. Like you could at least take some damage, like the Ash starts shooting you, then put the shield down. But right now, I think this is a waste. So you're trying to zone out here by shooting them, but the thing is, if I'm like a regular like DPS, like it's not that big a deal for me to cross once Vortex is down. Like your staff is not enough of a deterrent at this range, knowing that the rest of your team is not going to be able to hit them. So I would not worry so much about that. I would worry about this. And so this is where thinking about King's Row is really important. So generally speaking, they're going to come in through here. Then they're going to split and take this side and split and take this side. Right? That's kind of step. Actually, let me clear this and let me zoom out even further. Okay. So they go in like this, right? That's kind of step one. They go in step like this, step one, and then they generally can split this way, which is usually the tank, and then they split this way, and this is usually one DPS, and this is potentially another DPS if they have a close range player. Then from there, the DPS then continue to go and take that side. This DPS continues to apply pressure this way, and the tank moves on to here, and then you just sit right there, and that's how you cap. So this is going to be important when we think about it on offense. This is like the safest, most straightforward way to take this point. Is the tank goes this way. Obviously, if you're a dive tank, this changes, but like for the brawly tanks or even the poke tanks, this is the general way you do it. The reason why you sit right here, we're going to cover this later, is because it makes it really hard for them to shoot at you without stepping out. So it's going to force their tank onto the point, at which point your whole team can blow them up. Anyway, so why is this relevant right now? Well, you notice here, you're trying to stop this, but this is not going to work. Right? As I already mentioned, they can easily walk through this choke, even with your shield up, and basically ignore you. So instead, what you should be doing is you should be denying this corner. If I can prevent them from having this section, like being able to walk through, then they only have one path to attack, and that's good for us. As a general rule, when you are playing tanks, your job is to cut down the amount of angles of pressure on your team. If your team is being attacked from here, and from here, and from here, and from here, and from here, they're gonna fold. No matter how good your team is, like, they're gonna fold. Angles are so much of Overwatch at higher levels where nobody gets picked off, right? Nobody makes dumb moves, everybody uses their mobility well, everybody pops defensive cooldowns in time, supports are great at saving people, etc., etc. Nobody dies until you take over the angles and they have no choice left but to die or to retreat. So, again, my job is to cut out at least one of these angles, preferably two, but that's often not possible, and, my rest of my team's got to deal with the rest. If the enemy team takes this spot over here as Rammatra, there's basically nothing you can do about it, right? Like, you do not have the tools to do anything about it. If you're a dive tank, you could, right? Or someone who can climb, like Hazard. But generally speaking, if you were playing a Brawl tank, if you're playing Orisa, you're playing Reinhardt, you're playing Rammatra, Junker Queen to some extent, because you can theoretically pull them off, but it's pretty hard. Your job is to prevent anyone from going through this section, and to a lesser extent, this section. That's your goal. That way, your team is safe back here as much as possible. Again, they might get pressured from Hotel. They might get pressured from here, but that's what your DPS and supports are for. Let them deal with that. Your job is to stop the front. I'm sure someone's going to ask this question, but if they have a dive tank, right? If they have a dive tank, their dive tank is probably going to go here and then go here, and then you're in big trouble because the dive tank is going to go flank and then apply pressure to your tank, your backline here, or potentially dive over here. Then your only option is to collapse on their backline. So, for example, if it's like a Doomfist or a Winston who bypasses me, my only option is to run down their backline and prevent their backline from advancing. Because if I can pin off two people back here, like let's say like it's a Mercy Ashe, right? If I'm Rammatra and I pin them off back here, and they have, like, let's say Doomfist engaging, and let's say a Tracer engaging, right? And let's say, I don't know, a Reaper engaging or something like that from here, then my team has a 4v1. Sorry, a 4v3 here, which they have a numbers advantage, and hopefully they're going to win. They may not, but again, you don't have a lot of options in that scenario once they're going dive. It does take a lot of coordination for dive to work, so it's not like, oh, we go dive, we easily wins King's Realm. No, like, if you're not coordinating your team, you're going to get blown up. But if you are coordinated, you can completely wipe them. So, just a general note, and that generally applies as Brawl versus dive, is unless you can sit where the dive needs to go, you usually have to advance in the backline. So, now we're doing the correct thing, which is we want to cut down this angle. And you can see that already we are rolling the dice here, because if the Widow hits this shot, if she hits this shot right now, you've lost a point, right? As soon as she gets a pick, the fight's probably lost. So, the fact that you're not cutting this angle out is already you doing the wrong thing. I hope that's very clear to you, that like why your fire here is not relevant. You need to cut this angle, because you can do something about this, right? I can shoot the Widow, I can go Nemesis form and punch her, I can shield her off. You can't really do anything about here, because again, they can easily strafe across here without a problem. As long as you don't have Vortex. If you have Vortex, it's more valuable. I would have considered actually popping Nemesis right now. The reason being is I'm actually very worried that the Widow is going to take another shot. Every shot that Widow takes, at high level play, we're talking, if she's a clean shot with not wearing pressure, 40-50% chance of a headshot. Again, that is a big chance for someone to die instantly. But if I'm Nemesis and punching her in the face, she has no angle. She has no shot just to shoot me. In which case, and I'm totally fine. I'm not going to die when I have Nemesis up. So this is a big risk. Obviously, you mess up this Vortex. But here's another big tip. As tank, if I see my DPS or supports are ahead of me, it usually means, and they're not like a dive one who can reset like Tracer or maybe Genji, it usually means I'm not being aggressive enough, okay? Right now, your Cassidy has gotten really far forward. You should not be backing up. You should be advancing until the Cassidy backs up, because he probably sees an opportunity right now to get a kill. For example, they just killed the Ashe, right? You could just walk in and wipe everybody right now, right? Walk here, throw Vortex, shoot, go Nemesis, kill everyone. But you notice that you're playing really conservatively now, because you're not reading this fast enough. Like, as soon as I see this, I immediately start bolting. I don't care what's around the corner. I'm immediately bolting right now, right? I'm going forward right away to aggress. But notice you throw the vortex, and then you're like, oh, let me go back over here. But it's irrelevant, right? My Cassidy's here being pressured. And now he's going to continue to get chased. And this is extremely dangerous. He could have died here really, really easily. But, again, it's highlighting, like, you're not doing the right thing here. This is another shield that does nothing, right? You have Ram who's very low health, and a Nemesis form, so ignores the shield. And you have Brig, who, like, other than Whip Shot, is going to ignore the shield. So, and she's going to get the Whip Shot. Whip Shot's such a short cooldown. General rule for Ram shields, don't shoot the Ram shield. Ram shield has 1,000 health and expires in 4 seconds. It's almost never worth it to shoot the Ram shield. Like, 95, 99% of the time, don't even bother shooting it. Like, just save your ammo, wait for it to come back down, or find another angle. So, remember how we mentioned that you are not aggressive enough when your DPS end up in front of you. My instinct right now is actually to walk forwards and block the shots for him, right? Because I'm like, hey, look, I gotta get in front of this because my Cassie's out of position. I can see Vortex is down. Look how easily and how close this Cassie gets to dying, right? He dies right here. Literally, if you blocked like 2 or 3 of these projectiles, you save his life. And now that he's dead, you're probably gonna lose the point. I don't know if you actually do in this one, but you probably should have, right? At higher levels, you're going to lose here. Oh, likely for trades out. All right, so block here is good, right? I'm actually surprised you reset right away. So you have 6 seconds left of Nemesis. I think it's because you plan on spamming, but I would have looked to the right first and been like, oh, wait, this Brig? Drop down, kill the Brig. Ram against Brig with Nemesis is actually very, very strong. I don't hate that shield. I think I would put it a little further up. I would have ignored the Ram and just looped around here to kill those two. Because like the thing is, like the Ram's not going to die anytime soon, right? Like most likely he's going to Nemesis up soon. So I'll be like, look, that's fine. Forget you. Go here, kill them, come back, and then take the point. But your Freya's going to kill everybody, so it works out fine. So you obviously feel the... You also hear, by the way, if you don't have a headset, wear a headset. I think most console players do, but every once in a while I run a console player who plays on speakers, and it's kind of crazy. You can hear the Brig this entire time. Like, it is very audible. I have my sound at 30% right now. So the Brig is incredibly audible. Like, you heard right there, you heard the ass. Double kill. Heard the Brig. I hear the Brig again. Obviously, you hear the Brig now. I turn right now, and then I'm immediately strafing to the left, even before I even look to confirm. Because even if she's there, I want to make sure to cut off her avenue of escape. So the Brig is extremely audible, and you saw her over there previously. Like, you should have known the Brig was there and gotten the pick. Yeah, now she gets away. You are safe with me. Yeah, well, gotta be careful there. So make sure to hold your crosshair at head level, right? Like that. You want to make sure to stay at head level the whole time because you're a little low. It doubles your damage, so it's like very significant. Like I've legitimately killed Widows from really far away when just from headshots, like very, very quickly because they don't realize the projectiles are coming and they get hit with all of them all of a sudden. You could literally kill a Widow in under a second with all headshots. So I wouldn't worry about that. It's not my job to hold that anymore, right? Like, the opposing tank is already here, is what it is. I just focused on what's going on over here. I don't know that I would have popped Nemesis here. Like, you're, like, sort of low, but also, like, there's no commitment here. Oh, you're getting shot from behind. Actually, I think this is fine. There's, like, micro details here, but it's okay. I wouldn't... General rule for Ram shields. You put it, if you walk through it, it's too far back. If they walk through it, it's too far forwards. So notice right now, the Ram's like, oh, okay, you're going to put the shield this close to me? I feel confident, I'm going to walk through the shield. Right? So, not ideal. So why do we pop ulti here? You're at 120 health, but like, you could duck in here, get the heal, and try to stall us out a little further. Because when you pop Nemesis here, does it seem like... Or not Nemesis, Annihilation. When you pop Annihilation here, does it seem like I'm going to kill him? Because I look at this, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to kill him. And I think we're like kind of stalled right now, and I don't want to pop Annihilation because there's nothing for me to do with it. I really just want to stall here. Remember, you're on defense, so every second that you're stalling is good for you. So I don't need to force this here. I think this is completely unnecessary. Yeah, so like, notice that you did nothing with this Annihilation. The only thing this Annihilation gave you was the extra health, which, again, I don't think you actually needed if you just simply ducked in for a second, because you're going to heal by Mercy, get the mini, I think you're totally fine here. But now you don't have Annihilation, which is a big deal. I think Vortex is fine. I would probably pop. Yeah, I would not. So, Bob is up. Bob's going to zone everybody. I would be like, okay, I would not go on to point and be like, look, they're going to get a tick or whatever, and just hide in here and LOS the Bob. It's not your job. This is very common for tanks. I do this occasionally too, where you're like, oh, the Bob's shooting my team. I have to run at it. But like, once it's aggroed on someone else, there's nothing you can really do about it. So just sit here, wait the Bob out, right? And then you'll have Nemesis, and then you can go back on your point with your supports. But you try to rush the fight now, like now you're getting over and letting other people attack you. If you just sit here, you're safe. But going over here, now all of a sudden you have 3 people, including the Bob, attacking you. And of course you're going to get shredded, right? 4 people, including the Ash. But if you had Annihilation there too, like imagine that if you never popped Annihilation, right? So you go over here, you get shoot, and you see the Bob, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. And I sit over here, oh, you're down 3 actually. I probably wouldn't pop Annihilation no matter what. But it is what it is. I guess with 3 down, maybe suiciding on point is the right call. You hear on your right. Like, you hear and see the Widow on your right. I know you're trying to kill a Brig, but, like, I just saw the Widow land right here. I would have topped Vortex right there. So, and then I would kill the Brig, and after I kill the Brig, I'd immediately Nemesis and then kill the Widow. I'm really feeling the heat. Cassidy kills everybody. Great. Spam, spam, spam. Spam, spam. Yeah, don't... Yeah, it's okay. I'd say you should be smarter about some of your spam, but there's, like, a lot of nuance to it. So, Cassidy once again kills everybody, has his Freya. You do not need the shield, it doesn't do anything. Like, you have this habit of like, I'm gonna shield because I see enemies. First of all, you killed 3 of the enemy heroes. Number 2 is the shield's not gonna do anything from him, and he's low, and it's not gonna do anything with the Brig. So just run him down and kill him. Like, you don't need the shield. It doesn't hurt you here, per se. I mean, it slows down your DPS a little bit, but it's a bad habit because sometimes it will cost you. Like, a few seconds later, you'll need that shield, and you'll really regret having not having it up. Classic arch fight. Again, aim higher. Notice how low your crosshair is. There we go. Notice how low your crosshair is relative to where it should be, right? This is your crosshair. This is where your crosshair should be. This is a very substantial difference, right? You got to get your crosshair up higher to make sure you're getting the bonus damage. That Vortex is way too far away. It's not gonna do anything. Don't shoot the Ram Shield. Like, if you want to do this, do the exact same thing, but don't shoot the Ram Shield. Just walk through it and then start attacking it. If you're like, oh, hey, we had the advantage, like, just push through it. Yep. So I love this. You went for the Brig right away. Like, you walk forward and you're like, hey, look, this Ram's not gonna die. So you see the Brig and you immediately are like, hey, switch, kill the Brig. Perfect. This is exactly what you're looking for. Alright, Vortex behind him. So far, holds good. Ram's up high. I don't know that the forces do a lot, but I understand why you did it. So this is an interesting play. So back to, do we actually need Annihilation right now? You're at 482 right now. You have the Ram who's low. I don't know if you know if he has a Nemesis or not, but it doesn't matter. So he's low. You're at 365. You could just walk back out and you're totally fine. But instead, you pop Annihilation here. But I don't... Like, look... This is not necessary. Obviously, you didn't know that this part was going to happen, so I get that. But, like, you could have either just dropped or just killed the Ram, right? And then held block or something and then walked out the window. You have many options here, but you're using your ultimate in times where you really don't need to. I think it's one of the biggest things that stuck out this game is that your Annihilations are really low value. Like, really low value. I think you're generally in the right spot mechanically, but... almost there. Like, oh, sure, the Annihilation killed somebody there, but it doesn't matter, because the tank's already dead, right? The tank is dead here, and the Ashe is going to die in a second. You never needed Annihilation here. And not having Annihilation is a big deal for when you ultimately lose this fight. Yeah, what I'm thinking right now is I need to farm Annihilation back as soon as possible. I walk in front of that. Yeah, I think that's the right call. Yeah, that's a good call. So, after it pops you, right now, I then step back to here and hold block, right? So from here to here, hold block. That way the Bob's is not shooting me in the back, so I reduce the damage to it. This also works. This is fine. Alright, tree pop. Yeah, this is fine. I think the Ram's just getting shredded. So 50 seconds left. I think shield's too early. I'd stay out of range, right? If you're using staff and he's using punches, you should be this distance away. That way he can't punch you and you can shoot him. In the same sense, like if you have a gun and they have a knife, why would you stand in knife range? Just step back. Take a step back. Don't let him hit you when you have a chance to hit him without him being able to retaliate. I would stop shooting the Ram. Block is so strong, right? It effectively quadruples their health. Stop shooting the Ram and shoot the Widow now, right? The Widow is the one who's actually going to get a pick here. The Ram's not going to do anything. Like, you're doing a good job shutting down the Ram. I'm surprised you have not Vortexed yet. There's so many good Vortex opportunities behind this cart right now, and it's really shocking to me that you threw Vortex all the time previously, and now you're not throwing Vortex when I feel like it really would make a difference. That shield's not going to do anything. Like, you keep shielding when it's just the Brig and the Ram. Alright, Ram dies again. Wonderful. Great idea trying to Vortex. So I think I thought right away, you hear the Mercy tap tap. I think I would have thought to camp the res right here, because then this wouldn't have happened, and now you're down 3. If it's something that's that simple, it's just remembering, hey, there's a Mercy in the game, I can't let her res, is a big deal. Because like, what are you gonna do about this, right? Like, you came all the way back to what? Stare at your Cassidy fight people up here? Nothing you can do about that. So now your Cassidy's dead. The Ram's gonna respawn. I just book it and leave now. Right, either that or suicide, because there's no way to actually win this. Yeah, there's like nothing you can do here. Alright, so you're down 2. Right idea, you try to shield them off, but it's tough. Shield gets popped. Okay, that's fine. Just wait. Don't take extra health damage. This is really important when your support is like a Mercy, especially, because she's not actually like good at healing heroes. Like, she only heals for like 55, 60 health a second or something. So compared to someone like Ana, where Ana can heal for like 95-ish per second, like, she really doesn't want to be healing unless she absolutely has to. Your job here is to just play close and wait for your team to spawn, right? I don't take any damage. I don't poke, because what am I poking for? I'm gonna have ulti anyway. I just sit right here, wait for my teammates to walk up, wait for the card to get very close, then I go out and touch. Right? Between regular Nemesis form and Annihilation, I can literally sit on this cart for the next 10, 15 plus seconds without them being able to kill me. But like, what you're trying to do right now is you're trying to trade damage, but they have so many more heroes here to be able to apply damage on you, and like, your Mercy is not going to be able to keep up with this amount of damage, and that's why you're getting burned down. It's like tricky, because sometimes the mistakes that you've made are not in the moment. It's over the last 5-10 seconds where you're taking damage unnecessarily. That's what's happening here. It's like, yeah, you lived, but now how do you contest the cart? You can't get up here anymore. Versus if you're sitting here full health, the Ram wants to fight me, fine, that's fine, right? We'll trade full health. So, yeah, you're never going to be able to touch the cart now. Yeah, it's very clearly, yeah, I think you realize, okay, I'm not going to touch it, which is the correct call. But you should have gotten that second fight, right? You should have gotten a second fight with Annihilation to be able to bleed more time off the clock. That shield obviously misplaced. Yeah, keep shooting the Widow. Yep. Vortex is extremely lucky. Did you hit the corner? I'm surprised it stopped right there. So, why are we popping Annihilation right now? Annihilation does not meaningfully increase your damage, right? It's like, what, 40 damage a second? Tanks ignore 40 damage a second. Doesn't matter, right? With the break here, etc., with him already blocking and the Mercy in the background, like, I don't think Annihilation's going to change anything about this. He actually gets very, very close to being the... Nah, it doesn't matter. But note that, like, Annihilation didn't change anything. You would have killed him with regular punches even without Annihilation. I think you have plenty of time, right? Yeah, you have plenty of time. Alright, you have 8 seconds right now. So, yeah, you did not need Annihilation. So this is yet another Annihilation. And again, this is what's tricky with ultimates. Sometimes you pop ultimates and be like, oh, we won the fight. I made the right choice. But like, when you look back at it, you're like, wait, I didn't actually need to use my ultimate at all. Annihilation is such an important ultimate for Ram. Like there's some heroes that like their ultimate's really not a big part of their kit. Risa's a good example, right? If you didn't kill a single person with Terror Surge the entire game, you can still win games with Risa, like up to like low masters for sure. But for Ram, I think Annihilation is a critical part of your kit because it resets your armor. That's what's actually massive. Like forget if all Annihilation did was give you a second Nemesis form, I still think it would be a very strong ultimate. That's how good Annihilation is for resetting your health like that. And obviously giving you Nemesis form. The health alone is not enough. So you get shielded off here. What's the correct call? Not to shoot the shield, as we already mentioned. It's to cover this angle, because now I can stand like this and attack this way. Because the shield is actually protecting you. The shield is protecting you like this. So your job is to sit like this and then apply damage pressure here with your staff. That would help tremendously here to save your Cassidy from the Ashe. Right? And now the Ashe gets a free move in and then kills your Cassidy. Yeah, I think this is just exclusively held block backwards. I don't even stand here. Your Cassidy's still dead. I would probably be trying to back up. I know you're like trying to use the tree. I don't. Yeah, this is way too much damage. Tree's not gonna be able to save you. I would have backed up further. Now you're likely to choose. Great. Yeah, right call. Ram's out of position. Great. Excellent. Vortex. Sure. Kill supports first, right? If you don't kill supports, they're not going to be able to... they'll be able to sustain the Ashe forever. Alright, great. So, still, I mean, I like good hold, solid hold, right? Not ideal, obviously, but I think it's still fine. Okay, so, now we're on offense. As a reminder, where are we trying to go, right? We try to either cut left or cut right, try to clear the area behind the statue, then we want to stand right here. Once we're right there, we're pretty much all set to go, right? And then you shield off, they try to come on point, you beat up anybody who's on point, and you don't go any further, generally speaking, unless you have a huge advantage. So, I like this, right? You got through the shield, you put your own shield down, forced it back, that's fine. So, this is a great example, happens all the time. People are like, what do I do when my teammates get picked by, like, a Widow? Frankly, nothing. Often, like, what are you going to do about it? Like, literally, there's nothing you can really do about it. A Widow, and this is one of the reasons why Widow kind of breaks the game, and in my opinion, is actually kind of bad for the game. But she got a pick, is what it is. I can't do anything about that. Like, all I can do is try to, like, ping her out, try to spam her out with my staff as best I can, but I can't overly fixate on dealing with the Widow, because quite frankly, it is not my job. Unless she's within LOS of me, I cannot do anything about that. But the good news is you're on offense. Your spawn is very close. The Life Weaver will be back in like 15, 20 seconds. Just chill. The biggest thing is do not make a mistake into a worse mistake by trying to push without your Life Weaver. So just play slow. I don't keep repeating here because you get blown up, but yeah. You're like going in and trying to take space right now, but like you're still missing your Life Weaver. I guess he just got here. We skipped forward enough. But he gets picked again. Is what it is. I mean, this is like tough. I would have probably already gone back into Nemesis form or Omnic form, but is what it is. So now I back up, right? I don't want to get picked here. If I get picked here, I get staggered. I vortex him and walk backwards. I think trying to stay here is kind of crazy. Yeah, you gotta get back. Don't trade this out. Like, you are missing your Life Weaver until just now. So, what do we see right now? Hopefully you see the same thing, which is the Ram is really far out of position, right? Vortex behind him, shield off, and then run forwards, attacking the backline, and then see what happens from there. But you're a little slow to pick up the fact that Ram is out of position. Again, standing too close. Very scary to peek like this. With 328 health, the Widow can almost one-shot you. With damage boost, she actually would one-shot you. Yep, spam her out. That's fine. So, that's not really the shield that you need, but that's fine. Yeah, I mean, Widow's cleaning up right now. You have to back up. Nothing you can do. Just back up. That's okay. So, Ram dies right now. This is great. So this is very, very common, especially in lower ranks, where after their team is like having a very strong outing, they get overconfident and try to push unnecessarily. there's no reason for the Ram to be that deep in, and obviously you got to pick. Well, hopefully, if you listen to anything that I've talked about before, a huge part of knowing when to take a fight is to understand short spawns versus long spawns, okay? Your spawn is much, 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 much closer than their spawn is. This is the distance of your spawn. This is like the distance to their spawn. This is a massive, I should use a different color, but this is a massive difference in the spawn, right? Literally, they need to walk like 3 times the distance of your team to get back to the point. So, now that the Ram is dead, right, that you just killed him right there, what does it mean you do? Well, we just need to wait, group up, and then we take a 5-on-4 fight, and they have no tank, and we win the point. Most likely. This is a very straightforward execution now to see, hey, look, their tank died, we group, we run as 5, and then we win. What is the only way this could go wrong? Well, as a reminder, and we've already seen this before, a Mercy is in the game. Now, it is unlikely at higher ranks that a Mercy would try to make this play, but at lower ranks, you absolutely could see Mercies who are insane enough to try to fly in to try to save the Ram here. So all I need to do is just chill. I don't want to push up. I don't need to apply any damage. I need to seal all the way back here and just wait and be like, hey, look, Mercy, if you try to go for this, I'm going to kill you, and then we're all set to go. Here's the problem. You forget about the Mercy again. And so she goes for this res in front of your spawn. If you'd just been able to run over here, even just like holding block and sitting on it, I don't think she goes for the res, and then you guys would have a 5-on-4 advantage. I would be backing up, not moving forward right now. You have 218 health, and you're missing 2 teammates. For the record, this would be the winning push right here, like a point-taking push, if you had stopped the Ram from spawning. But either way, the Brig is out of position. I'd be very careful. You're super low. Yeah, at 264, trying to peek right now, especially in Vortex, is extremely dangerous. Right? With the Widow in play, like that's like an insta-kill. Alright, tree popped. I don't know if that's a great tree, but I don't know where you're going. Oh, you're worried about the Widow. So, Bob gets popped. What does that mean? Well, you're already on the side flank. I'd turn back and be like, look, let's just make sure, deal with the Bob, and then we can keep pushing. You don't need to do anything crazy. I'm trying to push him into the back line right now. It's kind of nuts. Does this Annihilation do anything? If your Annihilation's only hitting the opposing tank, it's pretty much always a bad pull. Right? Like, this Annihilation's not going to do anything meaningful. You're also blocking right now, despite having 674 health. And being pocketed by your Mercy right now. Run forwards? Yeah. I think you would have taken this all, even without Annihilation. So, obviously, you missed some attacks here. You definitely could have played this better, but it's what it is. Oh my god, the Brig's not going to die at all. Oh, she kind of does. Alright, shield off. That's fine. Well, this is annoying. Right? But notice that his Annihilation's hitting your whole team. Right? It's much better than your Annihilation. I think you... Yeah, I should back here. Like, the thing is, even with your Genji going in, there's nothing you can do right now. Just reset. Like, your team has short spawn. So, I would back up right now. This feels crazy. Lucky that nobody's attacking you. But Ram's gonna die here. Excellent. Mercy in the air. Nothing you do about that. That's fine. I would just turn back towards what's going on. Like, the second you see her pop in the air with Guardian Angel, I look back and be like, look, what's going on over here instead? Because I can't do anything about the Mercy, but you know there's more people to your left. You can hear the Widow shooting. Right? Like, you can hear her right now. You can hear the shooting. You can hear that shot. Like, you should just run over there and kill her, and then go back and cap the point. Yeah. See? This is bad. Okay. Actually, I think I understand what's going on here. I think you were actually sick of the Ram being rezzed, and so you actually camped the body here. This is actually much more reasonable. I take back what I said. I think this is actually very reasonable. You're trying to prevent the Ram from getting rezzed, because the Ram being rezzed is really their only win condition here, unless the Widow kills everybody, which she does, which is unfortunate. But I will also note is you can also hear the Ashe, and the Ashe is going to run right by you here. And, like, you could still be camping the Ram body and be killing the Ashe right now very easily. And now she gets through. So, you both didn't kill the people on the left, and didn't kill the Ashe, and didn't prevent the res. So, yeah, I mean, this is not great value. going back a little bit, one of the things you mentioned, like, hey, what am I supposed to be doing? I think camping the res here is very reasonable. Again, we've talked about a couple other times where you could have camped the res and gotten an insta win. But right now, it's like, look, I know you're in a tough spot, but if you want to camp the res here, if your goal is like, look, I don't want the Mercy to get the res here, I would literally just be like, hey, I'm gonna run at the Mercy, because if she goes in here like she does right now, I'm gonna keep attacking her, and she's either gonna die because I can chase her down inside, or she's gonna fly by me and go over here, which is great. Then I can chase out. Then I can go after her whole team and kill them all over there. So being kind of like indecisive and sitting here on the body, but not actually applying pressure to either one of them, means that you don't get anything done. All right, 50 seconds left. Don't shoot the Ram shield. Yep. Again, Ram's out of position. If you Vortex behind them, this is a potential kill. I would Vortex behind him. I would totally Vortex behind him. Yeah, I think it's unfortunate to have Nemesis forced out so early. Yeah, that's fine. That Bob was off target. That Vortex is not doing anything, obviously. I take way too much damage. I would shoot that Widow. Right? You can see her right here. I would shoot the Widow to try to force her off that angle. Because the Ashe isn't going to one-shot anybody, but the Widow is. And Widow gets hit there. What are you going to do about that? I think you got to slow down here. So this is you have 8 seconds. This is the last push for you. I think you really need to slow down right now. Like, you got time. You got 10 seconds. I would hold block and just chill for a second. Like, once they start attacking you, I would definitely hold block. Right. Life Weaver gets rezzed. Tree goes off. Now I think Annihilation's more reasonable. Yeah, I think Annihilation's more reasonable now. Brig's gone. That's fine. Now I turn and be like, look, who else is here? Alright, just Widow up there. Nothing I can do about that. I would turn, shield myself, and then spam out the top floor. Great idea. A little slow. Unfortunate. If you're coordinated, you could walk over to the cliff there and like you could flower petal you up. All right, capped. So I would take this opportunity to move up to here. Arch, as we previously saw, is actually really difficult to push through. So if you can take the other end of the arch, like they can't camp here anymore, and that makes your life way easier. So go and take the space that they give you. Like when you see, like, hey, look, this is tough, right? You're spamming them out, blah, blah, blah. And then you can see them start backing up the shield. Okay, they start backing up, great. Then I would just push up and like, look, we're both not gonna have a shield. I push to the side and then spam out here. Because the one ram, Brig does no damage to you. The one ram is not going to be able to spam you out from this position with all 5 of you there. It's not possible. So I would immediately go up and take the space. I think you're too slow here. And you can see right now that your team recognizes it faster than you do. That's why you see your DPS moving forward. Like your Cassidy goes forward, and then Hanzo's going to move forward even. This is a really good sign that you're not reading the fight correctly. You're being way too passive when there was an opportunity and the correct decision to go forwards, right? And to be more aggressive. Right idea, right? Vortexing out the exit. I am surprised that you went to Nemesis here. Oh, you canceled your reload. That's what happens here. Yeah, okay, I get it. So you shoot here. So I would not have popped Nemesis here. The reason being is that staff actually does more damage, and so I would keep shooting him with the staff while getting closer and closer and closer, and then pop Nemesis when I need to. I would try to get behind him. So I would run and get behind him. That way, he either has to face me or face my team. And either way, he's going to die. Widow. Alright. This one's tough, because you're going to get kill on the ram, and then you're going to die almost instantly here to the Ashe. You do have shield, but I don't think you had enough time, even with perfect reflexes, to have shielded yourself in time, which is really unfortunate. But you're going to get rezzed, which is great. I would push up. So, why do I push up? The ram is dead. So I can go in and I can clear this. Ram versus Mercy and Ashe, you can easily push out the two of them, right? As long as you have your cooldowns, you can easily push out the two of them. So if I take... Let's try to find the right angle here. This will do. So if I, as Rammatra, go in and take this space away from them, right? If I take the space away from them, there's no way for them to contest the cart. The only option is that somebody needs to come up through main, through open territory against your Hanzo and your Cassidy to go touch the cart. The only person who can survive doing that is a tank, and the tank is dead. So I go in and clear the right mega room, and you are guaranteed to get the cap here. Right, you're being like too passive right now. I would still run up and clear it. I would 100% run up and clear this. There's literally nothing they can do against you. Like, if you replace both of these heroes with, like, literally the best... If you gave the Ashe an actual aimbot where she could only hit you in the head with every shot, you would still kill her. I think you underestimate just how strong tanks are. So, I would have considered chasing this, but I understand not doing it. Because you know they're really low. Like, I think taking the Mega here and then popping and then going and trying to chase them down or flushing them is a reasonable play. Oh, they're so low. Alright. Mercy dead. That Vortex is completely wasted. I would be backing up right now. Because card's still far. So, at this point, I would back up and go over here. Card's farther than I initially realized. Yeah, get the Mega. I would back. I don't know what you're doing. Shooting the crate. Ah, yes, Bob could touch it. So this is really unfortunate. Yeah, play extremely slow here because you almost have Nemesis or Annihilation. So once I'm here, I don't think that I even want to stay in Nemesis for. I think just go staff and just shoot and kite. Because if he chases you down, he's going to be in the middle of all your whole team and he'll die. So I think just use staff here. Like you're think about why are you moving forwards right now? Right? Why am I moving closer to the cart? The cart's not going to move anyway. We're not in overtime. No one needs to touch the cart. It's not going to cap while the Ram's alive. My goal here is not to touch the cart. My goal here is to burn their resources down, out-sustain them, right? Win the sustain war, do more damage than they can heal, and versus what they're doing to us, and then we win this fight. That's how we win the fight right now, / get Annihilation, not by pushing forwards into them. And then you start taking a lot more damage, and now you're like way behind. And because you're way behind, he can pop Annihilation, he can run past you, and he's going to kill your whole platform. I definitely don't pop Annihilation now. You have 58 seconds, you lost one, right? And then, I'm not confident, because I know like my Cassidy's dead, I have no other alternative angle. Their Ram has Annihilation active, they have Rally active, like this is not going to do anything. I'm literally not going to do any meaningful damage with this. This baits out your Life Weaver's ultimate too. Because your Life Weaver's like, oh, my Ram's popping ultimate. There's like a play here. There's no play here. There's no play here. Like, if I took over your controls, there's no way to win this fight. It's not even close. Like, the Ram seemed like he's kind of low, but he's not low. Because if the Ram just holds block, you just literally can't kill him. Right? How low do you get him? Probably like 200-ish, maybe? Not even. Right? You only get him down to 400. So, he's effectively 1,600 health right now. There's no way he's going to die. Right, he just holds a block, and there's no chance of him dying. So this is really unfortunate because now, oh man, Valk got popped here too. So you all just baited each other, or rather, you baited your two supports into popping because they thought this was a fight that was going to be won because you popped yours. If you just let yourself die, right, or like played it out and be like, is it going to work if I have an ultimate, and then died, then your supports probably don't pop ultimates. But now you're down 3 ultimates, and it's going to be very difficult to push back in. So, as soon as I see this, what do? Right? Now, I go around the Disruptor shot while shooting at the Ram, and I go in, I try to body block him from being able to go after my Cassidy. Now, staying this far away is not the call. Oh boy. Yeah, he's not gonna die here. There's like 0 chance if he dies here. I mean, you're gonna try to run the car anyway. That's the only play you had. Yeah, so I think, again, if you had your ultimates, if you had all of your ultimates, this is a totally different story. But without the ultimates, I think you have no chance here. Okay, so let's go back and make sure we covered your question. Can you help me tell what to do better, such as when I should push in aggressively or how I should play against enemy hit scan? I also struggle knowing what I should be doing when the fight is neutral, when it's normal damage exchanges. Okay, so let's think about this. First of all, sometimes your Widow's going to kill people, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. All I do is tank when I'm playing somebody's Ram, is I ping where the enemy Widow is, I ping where I think she is, I spam her with my staff when I get a chance, but I don't over-index on it. I have a job to do, and that job is not to deal with the Widow, right? Sometimes you can shield off angles, but often you can't, because the Widow will just rotate somewhere else and find a new angle. Like, if the Widow, like, jump shot somebody, nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. That's just like, Widow life, right? Feast or famine, that's the way it ends up playing out. I will say that when you're playing against a Widow who's going after your backline, which is usually what happens, there's way less damage pressure on you as a tank. So you can be a lot more aggressive than, for example, if they have a Cassidy, or they have a Reaper, or they have a Bastion, where you have to be much slower. You can usually win damage sustained trades if you're focusing the enemy tank, because your team is pouring more damage into their tank than their team is pouring into you. So, as a general note, you can often be more aggressive. And we've seen multiple scenarios where you could have pushed up faster if you realized that there was an opportunity there. Kind of number one. Number two is you can't always choose to advance the fight. And what I mean by that is there are times where it's like, literally, sometimes I can't just like look at the situation and be like, oh, I'm going to push through now. Like, there's no magic to this. Even if you're a GM player, you can't just look and be like, oh, I can suddenly break through. But instead, think of it, especially at higher ranks when people make fewer mistakes, look for mistakes. Everyone at all levels of play make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. And we've seen a few of them, right? When, like, the Ram gets super overextended here and dies. I don't remember how far back this is now. Is it here? No, it's even further back. Right there. This was your push. This is the just sit tight, get heals, take the mega if I need to, get 5, push in, and we cap it. And there's something you can do. I guarantee you're gonna win the fight here. Guarantee's a little strong. Widow could still headshot somebody. But like beyond that, like this is a one fight right now. If you just chill and make sure the Mercy does not get the res. That's all you have to do. That was your opportunity. Right? And that wasn't the only opportunity. We talked about other scenarios where like maybe you could have done a better job pushing in, right? So understanding, like micro-analyzing, like, look, how could I play this better? Those situations do occur. People do make mistakes, and they allow you to be able to actually win them. But also over-ulting, right, or popping ultimates when you don't need to is a big deal as well. See, like, this is a good example where, like, I don't even go to the right. I know my Ram's active. I know this is the only angle they can attack from. I'm not an off-angler, right? As a tank, I am not an off-angler. Like, yeah, you can get some good hits in, but you're not going to kill anybody because there's no burst. I instead sit here and just push off the Ram and then push in this way. As a reminder, I think the most important spot in King's Row on first point is right there, right? You just take this corner and then you sit right there, right? Shield, stay as long as you can. If you can't, right, back off. And then you get healed up and then you go back on. Right? And between shield and block and staff and supports, like, you can make it very hard for them. It's going to force their Ram to step onto the point, and they're going to be really exposed because there's way more angles that your team can hit them from than vice versa. To illustrate this, if you are standing right here, who can shoot you on defense? They can shoot you from basically right here, right? Those are the angles that they have. Maybe somebody at phone booth. But often phone booth gets flushed out. Comparatively, if enemy tank, are standing right here, where can they be shot from here? You can get shot from here, you can get shot from here, you can get shot from here, right? And eventually, somebody might be able to shoot from there. But these angles are much safer and have better cover to apply pressure to the opposing tank, right? You even have the angle all the way over here, right? Being able to shoot from that corner over there to apply pressure at the opposing tank. It is much, much harder for defense to stand on the point than it is for offense to stand on the point, as long as you play it safe and don't run into the middle of the point. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers it, right? Again, like there's no silver bullet. It's a lot of like micro. I think your overall gameplay is solid, right? I think you, generally speaking, react well to things, but like being a little more aggressive, better ability usage, a lot better ultimate usage is a big deal, right? I think those things are like kind of what you need to carry you to the next level. Okay, I hope this is helpful.